Hi guys! Another week has flown past already, so welcome to another edition of Jane Talks. Hope you're enjoying this. This has been a fun experience for me. It's neat to read and actually think about what I'm reading and I guess just share how it's made an impression on me. So the next chapter in the book Resolved is called The Scoreboard, and it kind of backs up a little bit. The previous chapter that we talked about was called Plan and Do. Excuse me. And that talks about kind of the four steps: plan, do, check, and adjust. And this kind of goes back to the check. The check step is the scoreboard of life. You either hate losing bad enough to change, or you hate changing bad enough to lose. Most people are able to make a plan and put some action behind it. Where most of us fail is on the check step. We have a built-in defense mechanism that is designed to protect our ego. This makes it possible to delude ourselves into believing that it isn't that bad, or we're doing all we can. An ostrich, for example, may stick his head in the sand, thinking he's avoiding the fear of the lion by refusing to look at the lion. Sadly, this does not affect the lion's dinner plans. We need to check our results and identify the gap between goal and our current results. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. When FACS was called by the school to assess our home environment, it was an eye-opening experience for me in a whole bunch of different ways. I'll never forget the caseworker's question to me, "Why haven't you called the police?" And I told her I thought I was handling it. And her immediate response was, "Well, ma'am, you're not." I've never felt so scared as I did in that moment. The thought that my children might be taken away from me was just more than I could bear. I'm thankful for her expressions because it was the beginning of the process of realizing I was being severely abused, and it wasn't okay by anyone's standards but the abuser himself. It made me realize that I do have a choice. So I hired a trauma therapist, and I read, I learned, and I developed a new plan. It took me 6 years to fight through the haze of abuse and the desire to forgive and honor my beliefs before I developed another new plan and moved away from the abuse with my children. One of life's biggest lessons is that it's not success that creates happiness. Rather, it's what one becomes on the journey by pursuing a worthwhile dream or goal. Sacrificing for others on the journey to success creates self-worth, producing happiness long before the dream is obtained. And I think for me, that's been one of the greatest outcomes of this is the peace that I now experience. My life isn't perfect. I struggle in a lot of the areas that gave me trouble before, and I'm constantly reminding myself to challenge my thinking, but I've never felt so free. And I think that just comes from being allowed to think and live your life. So have a great week. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather we've been having, and we'll talk to you in a week.